how should accrued holiday entitlement be dealt with if an employee's been on furlough but then returns to work? Holiday obviously continues to accrue while somebody's on furlough, so how do we think employers and employees are going to deal with that?
Well, the working time regulations have been amended, haven't they, to enable an employer who can't find a way to allow holiday to be taken in the rest of this year to carry that over for up to 2 years into 2021 and 22. The usual rule, of course, is use it or lose it under the statutory scheme. Unless your holiday is taken in the holiday year, you can't carry over. But now there is the ability to carry over, because it might be difficult for people to cram the whole of their holiday into what remains of this year following return from furlough.
I anticipate that there may be some employers saying, well, we want to force our employees to take annual leave as soon as they get back to make sure that we can manage our workforce and we haven't got lots of people, say if the holiday year ends in December, lots of people trying to take holiday at the same time. And I suppose then the question is, can the employer, number one, force the employee to take annual leave? Number two, can the employer refuse requests from employees to take annual leave? My understanding is I think that both of those are lawful, subject to complying with notice requirements. Any more thoughts on that, Paul?
Well, look at the contractual position. What does your contract say in any given case? But subject to that, then the working time regulations say that the employer can require you to take your holidays by giving you twice the notice that the holiday will last. So if they want you to take a week's holiday, they have to give you 2 weeks, I think is the right period of time. 2 weeks notice of the fact that they want you to take that week's holiday. Yeah. And then they can compel you to take that holiday whether you want it or not. There's an interesting question that at present many lawyers are thinking about in relation to whether, given lockdown and the effect that that has on our ability to enjoy our leisure, whether holidays can be taken at all under the working time regulations, because the purpose of the regulations is to give people a break from work so that they can relax and enjoy their time off. And there's one stream of argument that says, at present, if you're cooped up and unable to go out, are you able to get the benefit of a holiday? My view is that that will be a difficult one to run in most cases, since we're all in a very similar boat.
I agree, and I think perhaps one exception to that rule might be somebody who is extremely vulnerable and literally not able to do anything. Let's say they can't even go out to the parks, as the government have now said that we can, sort of as often as we wish to exercise. Perhaps those individuals who are self-isolating in perhaps a more extreme way, maybe they'll have a better argument, but we'll just have to wait and see how these issues develop.
I agree, and it's interesting, isn't it, how people in different housing circumstances might be differently affected. You can imagine, for example, the difference between a couple without children living in a large detached house with ample grounds and comparing that to someone living in a tower block with 3 kids with no outside area to enjoy the sun in, and the effects on different people in different social classes can't be ignored, I think, in relation to the virus.
Absolutely.